William Clair, Lieutenant Commander, U.S. Navy Reserve. When I left, when I left active duty with the Navy, I went to, spent a year at University of Wisconsin, got a master's degree in history, and then went back to Rochester, New York, where by that time I was married. My wife and I both taught school. I was teaching in the inner city in Rochester, which was that's another interesting experience, which has nothing to do with this interview. But I'll tell you, at the end of a year and a half, I said, there's got to be a better way to make a buck than to stand in front of the classroom and try to do this kind of thing. A fellow air intelligence officer on the Saratoga, a wonderful guy by the name of Ed Penny, had told me while we were at sea at one time that there's a real good deal here at the University of Wisconsin, that if you apply to this special program called a fellowship, house fellow program, you can get a free ride at Wisconsin. They'll pay your room, board, tuition, and give you a little stipend if you'll just be a house fellow. I thought, well, that sounds like a pretty good deal. So that was my transition into civilian life, into Wisconsin. Then after 2 years, as I say, another house fellow at the University of Wisconsin sort of disappeared into the woodwork, and one day he sent me a letter and said, Bill, I've got an offer that you really would enjoy. Fill out these 97-page FS 86 and don't say anything, and we'll see what happens, right? So I spent weeks filling out the FS 86 and got it into the mail, and the next thing you know, it was a series of interviews, a series of testing situations, and then a background investigation, which included a polygraph and all that kind of business. And I was then accepted into at that time it was called the Junior Officers Training Program, the JOT program with the CIA. And what became a clandestine service officer and I know that I had a heads up because of my intelligence background and my Navy air intelligence background. There was minimum application of what the work of an air intelligence officer does and what a clandestine service officer does. One is very military minded, the other is sort of political minded. So it all worked out. In retrospect, it all worked out, but it was a series of incredibly fortuitous, just going, my wife would say, going with the flow.